OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Radiant team pick.
Axe.
OG's turn to pick. OG's turn to ban.
Alchemist.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Versus OG here in the upper qualifiers. For Western Europe, first game was taken by a Viking. It was a great game, very back and forth. Don't go back to watch the VOD because you gotta watch the second game right now, because according to Peter, you said they're gonna play faster, or rather, they should play faster this time around. OG, that is.
I mean, it's a very panel thing to say. We're just trying to stay on
Play
point
quick.
here. Yeah, play fast, play hard. Win your lanes, get team fight. Pick stuns, all those
Wave
good things.
clip.
But
The wave clip.
Wave.
You forgot the wave clip.
early,
Push waves, shove waves.
very early Alchemist pick. This was first pick Axe, right?
Yes.
And then 2-3 Alchemist, and then they got the AA to counter the Alch. And I know
10
OG has been the team
seconds
that plays the off lane Alchemist more often than not, right?
Remaining.
The factory, yes. They do like that one. Where you just
The
rushes
main
the
thing-
axe for the mid.
OG's turn
The
to
main thing is there
ban.
has been variation, where he's going more like utility, where it's not like straight just axe. It's not like we're seeing like the gyro or the monkey, where it's like throw him the axe, go and play Dota. It's more like, you if you're blink, your solo crest, maybe even a pipe, and you're looking at axe, third, fourth item down the line, depending on what kind of the game state is in.
Yeah, so what are the best pairings
seconds
for to
remaining.
give an axe to somebody? I know it used to be like gyro, it used to be
5
bristleback.
seconds remaining.
Void
Are there
Spirit
any
and
other-
Monkey.
Radiant
TA,
team
Monkey's
ban.
still there.
I guess Thompson doesn't play TA, right?
No. What's the tops in heroes right now that we can?
It's so hard to pick a hero up against Axe and AA. You almost want to have like Tricore, just to be like, we got a lot of stuff. Yeah, you can't get
10
everybody in the
seconds
call.
remaining.
We have, of course, a massive change up for OG in terms of their
5
opening.
seconds
Viking does
remaining.
the exact same thing. They ban out the same two heroes. They pick up the same two
OG's
heroes.
turn
Is
to
that
ban.
a clever thing to do, because you know that your opponent's gonna adapt because they just lost? Is it a bit ballsy thing that they just go for the same thing again?
I don't think so, because like they just played it in carry, right? Then they can play it off lane. Like there's a lot of flexibility with this style of opening, and they also demonstrated that they have
10
this kind of
seconds
discipline
remaining.
factor. So if they're not changing things, they've making OG change, and that's where it's like
5 seconds
it's easier
remaining.
to kind of know what you're doing and react to your opponent than to also be kind of creating new ideas going into a second game. Like you're the one game lead. You don't have to be too left field with your second draft.
The Axe is just OP at the moment. I feel like it's just too good, and we saw him in the last game. I mean, he didn't even play that well. He missed a ton of calls, but like the hero itself is just out of
Radiant
control.
team ban.
So I personally feel like it's just a great opener. OG's opener, the 2-3, I think the Alchemist, it kind of just tells too much. And I feel like this Axe A is just gonna have a completely free lane down here bottom. Like Alchemist could even struggle potentially.
And they could still, though, change up that Alchemist and
10
not have it be
seconds
Seb, right?
remaining.
I mean, it's Seb normally that plays it, has been playing it most throughout the
5
season.
seconds
But
remaining.
both Samil and Thompson could take it as well.
It is possible. I oftentimes think that in the 2-3, I think it's really great if you can take, like, Dragon Knight, for example, is a really popular hero because you can flex him between offlane and mid, and then you save your last pick as the second pick team to decide, okay, like, hey, do I want to pick a new offlaner that can crush the carry that they showed, or do I want to pick, you know, a new mid that's going to be really great for the game, like this game is versus AA, but I always think like, oh, this last pick Top Sun Pugna or last pick Matt Rider or something like that, like that can just really take over. Can work well.
OG's turn to pick.
I think okay, they go for Lina. The main thing with this out, I just want to see it go offlane. You know, you throw down the acid spray, you play your normal game of Dota, and you don't get too kind of carried away with what it becomes. Like, you're playing into AA already, so you don't really want to play out carry, because of course you run up yourself, you're going to get executed by AA blast +1. So also Lion Alchemist is such a strong lane, right? We saw it during DPC when, was it season 1 or season 2 that was popularized? Either way, it's like the idea that, yeah, I think it was 1, right? Like, you throw down the spray, you have this line who pretty much enables any offlaner to play there because you have the double stun. So yeah, I just want to see this be offlane duo already done.
Speaking of season 1 of DPC, Puck makes an appearance. I know, we also saw him in season 2. It's been a staple, but it is not really too much out of left field, Peter. Puck always fits in. You mentioned, of course, Dragon Knight. Do you feel the same about Puck in terms of how he fits in this draft?
I think it's really nice to pick your mid hero after you see the 2 supports on the enemy team, and now that they see AA and Lina, they know that both of these heroes don't really have a good way to deal with the puck, and so as long as he dodges the axe call, you should be able to, you know, go this like tread switchblade thing and just have tons of damage and really kind of like scale into the mid to late game. But Dragon Knight's a great pick, and they can put this in the off, like, their lanes are so flexible. This DK Axe is just so meta, right? Like, you can put these heroes in. I mean, Axe isn't going to go mid, but DK could go mid, DK could go safe lane, DK could go off lane, Axe can go off lane or safe lane. They'll just have to decide based on what they see here, which is OG's 18 pick. Oh, sorry, we actually had the picks
yeah, the pick
completely
order,
wrong, by the way. So it was Lion first, and then
when they said I was checking the bans, like, oh, this is wrong. I'll wait for him to stop, and then I'll throw it in. But yeah, I didn't notice with last pick
until second phase. So they actually picked the Alchemist into Axe AA, which you know, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, personally, I think AA is obviously a counter to Alchemist, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a confident outpick.
That's why I think, like, in regards to offlane, like, I don't think these counters matter too much, because the idea of the hero is still, you're going to be the one tanking up the AA blast, opening up the game for everyone else. You're still playing your kind of farm war, so I think that's where they don't really care too much about it. And they go for the Medusa, which I guess with the nerfs to the hero could become a good Axe buy, because now you can rely more on farming your, you know, Manta, your Butterfly +1, rather than going to Axe yourself. That could be an option, like second, third item Axe, but very hypothetical kind of strat right now.
Yeah, maybe you do. I don't know. Alchemist is such a wild card hero for me. I feel like, can you play this hero as support? I'm not sure.
All right, I did play it. I'm not going to do a Brian here. I'm not going to talk about my pubs, but technically speaking, no, with OG, it should just be the offlane. Let's not get carried away.
All right. So then they're looking for maybe a no-tail hero last, or who knows what, but yeah. I think Viking GG is in a great spot right now because they have an opportunity to last pick like a new offlaner that's really good against Medusa. I see Darkseer. I know it doesn't work that great with the Lina, but it could be, it's just really good versus Dusa in the game. Any other offlaners you like against Dusa? And they can always just do Dragon Knight Lina top. Dragon Knight can go early movement speed items to close the gap between him and Dusa, get those Dragon Tails off. Dusa's kind of a slow hero, so that could work.
I kind of like the idea of
5 seconds.
Yeah, realistically, you need the Axe to be your offlaner, I think, in this situation, right? Because Axe carrying to Medusa doesn't feel that great. So I'd actually argue they need to pick a better carry.
Why is that?
Because I feel like during the major, teams would often be banning out Medusa when they had the Axe, and also when Axe jumps onto the Medusa, he doesn't 100 to 0 her. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've not seen that occur yet. So I feel like Medusa eventually becomes too tanky for a carry Axe to deal with, unless you have the supporting cast with you.
I feel like because Axe does pure damage, I feel like he doesn't care about the armor of Medusa, and I feel like he will like actually just maybe not 100 to 0, but like with the AA blast with Lina follow up, like it might be enough.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, you know what? I kind of want to see the Axe because I haven't seen it yet, but maybe into Medusa it has like an earlier timing to play for.
Well, we have OG
Yeah.
with their bans kind of spreading their odds. They still ban out
turn
the
to pick.
Brood Mother, but they also removed the Drone Ranger just in case there was still going to be a different hero for Shad coming out. With the Undying and the Abaddon removed for Viking, which are typical no-teal heroes.
Hold on. I have a 5-head drafting thing
Okay.
here.
Okay.
This is you do Lina
10
mid,
seconds
DK4,
remaining.
and you get the last pick Darkseer, and then you're running DK Darkseer in the offlane.
5 seconds
All right.
remaining.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
not
Sounds good.
ideal, but I mean,
All
it's
right, but let's
fine.
be honest. How many DK offlanes soon become supports because they do one too many bad blinks? I like it. You know, I'm
It's
not
not.
opposed to it.
It's not bad, and yeah, it just needs to be useful in the lane because the Darkseer, like this hero destroys Medusa, as I see it. So like you can just completely like Darkseer plus
Radiant
Axe as
team
well.
pick.
That'd be a nice combo. And I know
go for this one.
Keizu does like the Darkseer as well. So.
He does. And we got Clockwork coming out for OG, and I think a lot of people will be remembering Saxa's Clockwork during the DPC, absolutely carrying
10
his team to
seconds
victory
remaining.
during the season. So looking forward to seeing that, because that level of
5
play, I mean,
seconds
Aramis
remaining.
obviously played a really good clock in the previous game, but now the shoe's on the other foot. And do with that. It's, we know.
Are you sure it's
he's got
not?
the
Are you sure it's
skills.
not? Are you sure it's not
Probably
no-tail?
5. Yeah, it's probably 5. Well,
Are
yeah,
you
we'll
sure
maybe
it's
play
not?
it,
I mean, it's Saxa clock. How could you deny him the clock?
But you need the lanes, Shiva. You need the melee hero to body for the range carry.
It depends on
Medusa.
your
they
team,
can
right?
they can switch up.
Yeah, certain teams will swap their lanes, other teams won't. I haven't
Sure.
seen no-tail play in the offlane very often.
That's
if,
true.
Like, ever. So,
That's true.
but you're right, like, Saxa does play an amazing Clockwork. It is kind of a signature hero for him and OG's team. Like, they always succeed well when Saxa's on this hero, so yeah, maybe it is a good idea just for Saxa to play the Clockwork in the safe lane with the Medusa. They could also just do like Lion Medusa safe lane and run the Clock Axe off lane and Clock pulls waves, but that sounds very inferior.
Yeah, you kind of like with the Alk, you need the with the Alk, you need to have that hero to bully with the acid spray. So I think right
Yeah.
now the lanes are kind of set, right? Clocks with Medusa, Puck mid, Alk flying. That's what Viking right now.
Choose your hero.
Ooh, they go for a Kezu. Ooh, little Venom
What do they do?
answer.
Venomancer. Okay.
Venom, yeah. 2 games in a row, their last pick just makes me go, ugh, you know? Ugh, I don't
Well,
know.
It's
good, but-
it's not too bad against Puck, right? And it's okay. You know, they have relatively slow heroes in Alchemist and Dusa, so even more slow can be nice. We'll see if he's able to establish like an area of the map and claim it as his. But Clockwork and Puck are pretty all right versus Venomancer, I would say. in the
It
game.
is a DK position for Peter, so you were right with that one.
Holy.
It's also
Damn.
a Saxa Lion, so you were also right with that one with No-Tail still going
I
on to the
should
Clockwork.
have picked
10
Darkseer instead
seconds
though.
remaining.
If you're
not a
gonna
Darkseer.
put the DK on the position 4 anyway,
5
maybe
seconds
you might as
remaining.
well. But quick thoughts on who you guys are gonna think is gonna take P.
I'll go with OG just because I'm not too happy with the idea of Axe and Medusa carry, and I think that Veno might have a great time playing aggressive and like owning jungle like Brood, but it doesn't have the same effect as a Brood. It's not going to like have consistent presence within the game. So yeah, I think OG is going to eventually get this win on their side.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching the mid lane Topsun versus Boom. This Lina Puck matchup can go both ways. If there's good rotations from OG, Lina can feed. Puck can kind of struggle if he's left alone to play versus Lina. But I like OG. I think they have more playmaking opportunities, and I think Topsun can have a really, really impactful game on Puck with the DK being shifted to position 4.
And are they gonna play faster than previous games?
No, I don't think so. I think they're going to hang out and chill. They've got Dusa and Alchemist, so they're happy to go late, and we'll have another brawl back and forth, most likely, which is what everybody wants to see anyway.
I definitely want to see that, and
I'm
I
down.
know everybody in chat wants to see that, and I know our commentary team would love to see that too. It's Odie Pixel and Fog. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Sheila, and a big welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2. I'm sure you're all still here after that Game 1 extravaganza between the two of them. Viking, of course, able to come out on top at the end of the day. What do you make of what we're seeing from this this second game? A bit of a switch up, pretty much OG, as Peter said, sort of stepping into a bit of a different realm where it comes to the timings they'll be hitting. This Deucer, this Alchemist coming out, and Viking, the curveball that PPD did predict coming out. Aramis on the support DK. I mean, is this something you've been seeing? Is this strong? Where does the strength lie in this? And is this something Viking planned as soon as it was picked, or is this a response to what OG came out instead?
I think they probably just started deviating, you start adjusting quickly based off what you see inside the draft. I think this is something people have been theory crafting for a while, ever since the DK got buffed, the Dragon Tail at level 1, just how much stronger it is. So I'm glad they went for it. I liked Peter's suggestion a bit better, though. I did like the Darkseer, especially because it's Kezu's hero. It's Aura Buyer, which is always good versus like your Puck and stuff like that. And of course, Rivers Dusa. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do as the Veno. I feel like it's similar style of Aura buying and like claiming an area and controlling, but I feel like Darkseer just, it gets to that, you scale. You're going to scale infinitely because Deuce is going to scale infinitely, but this is the approach they went for, and we'll see if it does end up working with the 4-position DK. Because the other thing is too, I think that's where it makes the puck a lot better. Because sure, looks like a little bit of a, like, not a hard puck game, but an annoying one when you're playing versus DK. But now that it's a 4-position, I feel like you just open up opportunity for Toxin to kind of pop off in the game.
Around this rune already, OG on the high ground. Catch out Viking, but it's not going to be the case. Viking caught underneath the trap hit of OG. Lanes takes place. Once again, Shad and Celery starting down in the bottom half of the Axe AA combo. I would imagine No-Tail's going to head up to the top lane pretty shortly.
Yeah.
It's a bit of harassment here onto Celery to make it a lot of...
Look at all the wards too placed down. 4 kind of wards placed out from OG in the bottom side. Just checking high ground to see if the lane, they're going to do some type of like lane dodging, I think, is what they're trying to scout out here. And then also just blocking off camps that we know will probably get stacked up from either the A or Lina. Let's see how Shad does bottom. This time he does buy that ring of protection that we did mention about him missing the last game for the lane. He needs it versus Acid Spray because he's down to that negative if he doesn't have it. So now he's at 0 when he's under Acid Spray with the ring of protection.
And when it comes to what he's facing, you think in this game, Axe against Lion and Alk, it's not quite as threatening for the Axe as the Lina Magnus was last game?
Not as threatening in lane, no. I think that Chad should be able to get quite a bit more farm out. No, because they can actually harass properly versus like the Lion. You just hunger the Lion and then the AA is able to harass. And now it's Accept is just a walking aspect, which you can avoid. You can step out of. You know, shockwaves and these constant spams from Lightstrike arrays, quite a bit different.
You know, to the mid lane, PPD said he's going to have his eyes on this matchup.
Yes.
Lina, Puck can go both ways. Boom versus Thompson. I mean, what do you expect out of this? Do you sort of pit either of these as the favorite to win in this matchup?
Lately, I've been liking the Linas a lot more. It's just so easy to play. Sure, Puck is easy to play, but Lina just plays itself. Like Puck, you have to do some kind of like skilled kind of dodges and stuff like that. Lina, you just click the nuke on the wave. You keep your Fiery Soul up. It kind of does itself. So I like the Lina quite a bit more. And it really is up to the 4-position rotations. So I think that OG does have the better rotation, though. So that's where Boom could get caught off guard.
On him. This might just be the first blood. 7 sacks up. Be able to find it. Celery caught out and stun holding. And then stuck to the Acid Spray. The punch is coming hard.
Okay, that does mean they skill the Hex. So it does mean that Sox is going to have much less mana to work with to constantly harass the Axe because of that, but they do get a kill anyway. Yeah, usually you do see the point in mana drain at level 2 because you use your whole mana pool otherwise, so you just can't do anything in lane. You're just auto attacks.
When you see this sort of setup as well, I remember actually Seb, as the off lane the Alchemist will be of course building items for himself, but are we going to see any sort of shift towards an early Axe for any of his other cores or even supports this game?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's got 2 really valuable ones. He's got the Puck and the Medusa, so definitely super value. Maybe wants to get like 1 or 2 of his starting items first, maybe like a pipe or something like that. I've seen him usually go for the hood early, but yeah, I think it's just too valuable to not do it. Because then you can like force those fights around Roche that we used to see OG do when they did like the Monkey King Alchemist. You know, you get that timing and you just go Roshan and then you have a Medusa with like 3 items or a carry with 3 items and a Roshan.
Yeah, and we sort of had it discussed on the panel, but what's your sort of take when it comes to sort of the Axe carry versus the Deucer carry? Now, do you imagine, you know, for the Axe, once Shad does have the Manta, the blink and the shard, you know, the means to get on top of the Deucer and do damage, is it going to be threatening Sumail, or at that point of the game, should the Deucer be at a stage where Sumail doesn't care too much about the initial burst that Viking will throw?
I think the pure damage might be decent. The one thing that changes my tide instantly is there's a lion in the game. So if he does pop the Manta, there's just like, you get this mana drain, and then the whole entire, like, most of the aggression that comes up from the Axe Manta, it just dies instantly. Those two illusions just instantly die when the lion does get the shard online, which we know Sox is going to do eventually. So I think it's an easier game for OG, for the Medusa to carry.
Sure. Like, you do see this as two drafts that, you know, at a certain point, you know, Sumail's had a good game. If it was Restore's last match, he keeps himself at the top of the net worth. This Dusa could be the be-all, end-all in this.
Absolutely. I don't know what the Venomancer and DK are supposed to do to slow her down, really. Because he's got a Clockwork behind him as this Medusa, so you've got, like, no threat, really. The DK shouldn't, in theory, be able to get up to the stun and get all like, these Veno Gales. You should be able to just get your free farm on Medusa and then get stacked. So, yeah, it looks like a pretty good game for Sumail, I'd say.
So far, lane-wise, not losing out too much. This is that mid lane where Boom has about a wave or two edge actually on the CS off Thompson. So definitely coming out of the top so far, the 1v1 being at that. Probably a little bit quicker than that of Thompson. Leads them any chance to get aggressive. Two of them, I guess when it comes to catch for Thompson, it is going to be a little tricky. Thompson not having too many threats that he's going to have to jump about in the team fights.
Thompson did steal a bounty rune though, so he might be 8 last hits behind, but he did steal the one on the left side from Boom. About to be 6, but Boom gets the 6. And Thompson gets hit by the stun.
He does. We'll get the silence off onto Boom, but Thompson, he's got to be careful. Jaunty,
I don't know.
Not too far away, that he's still underneath that light strike away. We'll see down. Trying to get him with the chase down on Kezu, but a Dragon Tail stun from Aramis will hold back the try and turn it. The snake bounce is not going to quite clip onto Kezu, so Kezu will be fine.
You know what's wild is Boom put a point in an extra point in stun when Thompson was coming in, because he's like, no, he's gonna make this mistake. No, like, he potentially gets the kill on the puck there.
Yeah, for sure. I think we would have seen him sort of posture aggressively and try and chase Thompson back up to the high ground. No doubt about it.
And we're still seeing Shad get off to a slow start anyway. Not as slow as the first game, but still getting slowed down from that Alkin line alone. And we are already seeing the move from Celery, heads up to top. They've got the stack started, and they're gonna do the same strategy they did in the first game. Leave Shad alone, and then just look to pressure the carry, the Sumail.
Radiant's middle
Soxa
tower
taking the opportunity though, since he sees bottom, they've moved. He makes the way toward mid.
TC's coming in. Got enough burst to take down Boom underneath the tower. They don't. It's going to be more than okay here with the backup from Aramis coming in and stopping OG from throwing anything else onto Boom.
A little worried for him. I don't think he had a raindrop on him either. I thought perhaps he could get burst down, but holding his ground nicely. Good TP from Aramis, and they continue to stack. And Chad continues to get that farm. We do see, I think, the stacks starting from OG pretty soon. I'm actually not seeing stacks from OG just yet. I was gonna say, I hope that they do have some stacks with this Alchemist anyway. Even though he's having such a good time bottom, you always want that extra enabling factor. So we do see Aramis starting to get some scouting. Walks in with his Tranquil Boots as the DK, gets a deep ward down. Was spotted by OG though. But they'll keep habits up.
We're able to deal with those.
It's so good on oh, he doesn't do the pull in between. Okay, maybe waiting for his level 6. But I was gonna say it's so good on Dire because you can pull those two camps that we're seeing. Talk about afterwards.
No tell. I've caught him here. Aramis able to close the gap, set up with the Dragon Tail, and at this stage of the game, these three heroes, a lot of magical damage to be dealt.
Yeah.
Will very likely die if you're anything other than a core against these three. It's Kezu. It's getting to the point where the level's starting to rack up on the Plague Wars. This area of the map is it's not going to be a place that OG really want to head over to.
Yeah, and it is going to be first item, Aghanims actually for Seb. So not even going for a hood early on. He's just going straight forward for the Dusa. He does have two really good heroes for Aghanims, the Puck and the Dusa. So okay.
Heck, he's got 4. Sure, no tell.
He does,
especially Saxa. He wants to come out with the big old fingers.
Oh, and let's be honest, they never give the supports any Axe. I've seen these offlane Alchemists so they give out 2 and then they never give out another one.
And that's it. It was about 4 old Saxa.
But it definitely is 4 good Ags in this game. And we're seeing gold lead already, 2K for OG, just like last game, getting a little bit more out of the map.
I guess it's to be expected a bit when you do have a core out.
Absolutely.
To some point with these stacks.
Here comes the Thompson rotation.
Or
Radiant's
drop down
middle
onto
tower
Boom.
is under
Looks
attack.
to break the coil, and the remainder of the Hextron. Boom's going to be fighting back. The Dragon Tail's done. They're able to turn and blow up Thompson. Thompson getting taken out there as Viking. They're looking to try and set up for more Boom. Heading over towards Snell.
Radiant's middle
Stun
tower
won't quite
is under
catch on to
attack.
Medusa. No tail being pushed out the side here by the damage over time from Kezu. Smell pretty low underneath this tower. Boom. Popping some mangoes, but a little on that HP, so doesn't want to quite get in with the dive underneath the tier 1. Mel will be okay for now, but Viking quick to seize the opportunity to turn there. And smart moves from Boom, just instantly knowing that the best play was to put that haste, break that coil, so we get the ability to turn and blow up Thompson as Thompson tried to jump in to finish off the kill.
Yeah, that was very heads up. The same thing I was going to talk about just now is because he knows that Clockwork's not 6. Lion wasn't in the area. There's no one else who can get on top of him. As soon as he gets out that far, that distance, he's Gucci. It's good to reset and go back in. So very nice play there from Viking. It was a good TP. It was a good idea from OG to defend with Thompson, but yeah, losing him. But they will defend the tower, and Sumail, he doesn't actually have to leave the area just yet. Say that, but now
Aramis
gets the stun. He's low
rather
mana.
low on mana, yeah.
Radiant's courier
Gonna be
has
alright.
been
We'll actually
killed.
get the courier of Aramis and Sumail. He's out with the TP. Doesn't want to mess around in this area any longer than he needs to now.
Seeing the stacks coming out. Sox is starting to get these double stacks, but look at Shad. He has monstrous stacks in comparison.
What Shad was able to do when he sort of got the time to sneak away into the jungle, clean up the stacks in game 1. He became massive on the axe, and so far the trajectory is pretty much the same here for him in this game too.
Yeah, looking quite similar for sure.
Dire's
Sab, I believe his
top tower
Aghanim is
under
about to be
attack.
finished up. 350 more gold. They'll see what they can do with it. It's Viking starting to get that push started top quite a lot here. Kezu starting to lay down those wards. Catapult coming in. Aramis not quite 6, but they're swinging Shadow over too.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's
Top
bottom tower is under attack.
Going down
Dire's
within the
top
next
tower
few
is under
seconds,
attack.
and No Tail knows it. No looking to hold on to it. In fact, already moving away from the top.
They're setting up the mid
Radiant's
too.
top
Mid lane.
tower is
Yeah,
under
They still have their
attack.
siege
pressure
creep.
on fast.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
And they're playing it speedy. They're against
Yeah.
this out. They're against this Medusa. Viking make sure that they really do keep the pressure onto OG.
And they should.
Especially in a game where
Radiant's
Seb has
bottom
gone for the
tower
straight
has
axe
fallen.
first. You know, they know that this hero, on his own, Seb, he's going to be very vulnerable if any action does kick off. He's going to have nothing to protect himself.
He's pretty hard countered in the game anyway, right? He is versus that AA, he is versus Venomancer, he's versus Axe. It's so many
Dire's
different
top
lethal
tower
damage
is
points that
under
would kill
attack.
the Alk anyway, so. He
Radiant's
does have the Axe
bottom
finished, and they did
tower
scout
is
it.
under
Kezu
attack.
was right in front of him in the mid lane. Kezu nearly has his Spirit Vessel done too, so lots of different damage, and there it is. So Sumail, free Axe given, Dragonlance too, and top of that network.
It is a good bit of boost to the tank ability of some. Already 11 missings, HP, 1200 mana.
Radiant's bottom
He's not
tower
going to
is
die
under
instantly in the
attack.
fight. Even if they do get a
Dire's
jump on,
structures
he will
are
have the chance to
fortified.
react.
And it really is just so early to have that.
Wildfire.
So,
Dire's middle tower is
Kezu,
under
but
attack.
quite with any. He did have a match, but not wanting to pop it initially to try and push Kezu back. They got the Lagoon onto No Tail. He's actually going to end up going down. Boom has the reach.
Another one.
Take him down. Now with the center on the Seb. The Ice Blast coming in as well, Seb. He's got back, but in fact, with a finger at Saxon, they're able to blow up Aramis. Seb will end up still going down. Green Cold will be dropped there, but Viking, they're able to step out straight to the side. Thompson, he's caught by the stun. He punches in from Boom. So looking to scout up to the high ground here, but Thompson won't jaunt forward aggressively. As Viking, sure, they lose Aramis, but they get 2 heroes for it. Taking the favourable trade here, Viking around the mid lane.
And Shad is just chilling top. That was a 4v5 fight that Viking was doing, and they do come out ahead of it anyway, plus having the Axe farming on the other side of the map, so perfect move there from Viking. And I feel like that's how we'll see Seb. That's gonna be Seb 90% of this game, I feel, just getting completely deleted by AA Blast every single time. So looks like he's queuing up Force Staff, just trying to reposition people to get out of those blasts. It'll be a pretty nice choice.
Playing for time and space for Sumail.
Yep.
Very much looking to put this game on the shoulders of the Medusa. Get everything they can to buff up and protect him at all costs. Make sure that any jump, any fight the Viking try and enter into, Sumail will survive through the initial onslaught. And will be able to eventually turn and take down the remaining members of Viking after they make the jump.
He's got his work cut out for him, though. It really is just going to feel like they only effectively have 3 heroes on the side of OG, right? Like, the way this is going to start coming down quickly, Viking is going to scale on 3 heroes quite nicely. OG, they're only going to really scale on like 1 or 2. So we'll see what they're going to be able to do with this big Medusa if they're going to be able to rally around Sumail.
Chad, start pretty much done. Considering how game 1 went, I think this is even quicker than game 1.
I think so, yeah.
Just getting that little bit more space and stack preparation for
No tail.
in the river. It's going to set up for the coil to come in, but the ice blast in return straight down onto No-Tail. No-Tail will fall through, able to get the Lagoon off before he dies, and Thompson ticked out pretty low into the Battle Hunger. And the damage from the vessel. The Stone Gaze comes out, but Kezu's able to turn up the site. Good body blocks in for the illusions of No-Tail. Will stop Kezu from being able to escape. 2 for 2 though. Viking may lose the 2 cores, but are able to bring down Thompson with it.
And this time it's big for OG, where sure, they lose Thompson, but in the meanwhile, Soxa is just farming top, has finished up a Blink Dagger, and No-Tail with that aggressive hook shot does end up really nicely. 2 cores for the 1.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Elder Dragon form here to put pressure onto mid. Not quite wanting to set up on him yet. Tails hook shot back up in a few seconds, as well as the finger. So the first potential is once on again online here for OG if they see chance mid.
Vikings gotta be sure to be getting quite a bit out of the map. If they are gonna be looking to go for these pushes mid, and they are gonna be like kind of losing even like 2 heroes, they have to get so much more out of the map. Because you know, like we said, you're only playing versus really like 3 OG heroes. If you're losing fights at this point, it's gonna get scary when this Medusa does get big. So I like what Shad's doing. He's still looking to play his own game, just splitting up the map, sending the illusions out to cut waves. Same thing for Kezu, still trying to get as much farm as possible. Seeing Aramis even trying to find farm. They do lack a bit of that catch for the puck, as we see. If he jumps in, sure, they've got the Dragon Tail from Aramis, but yeah, he's trying to get his own Blink Dagger too, because he's super poor. 2,800 net worth to the 4,400 of the line, and Sox has got Blink already done, so.
I guess this is one of the things about the support DK, that if things do start to slow down, the action's not there, you're not going to have an easy time really picking up the farm, grabbing the goal.
No.
To keep up with the rest of the game, really.
No, you're never really gonna level your breathe fire much with these 4-position DKs, unless you have some like outrageous start where you're super over leveled. This is the build you're gonna have. So you don't have a farming mechanic. You're just a stun and you're just kind of tanky. You're just a damage reduction with your breathe fire in certain team fights. So you throw that onto the Medusa. A lot slower of a game though. 6-4, 16 minutes. I think last game we had like 11-11 around like the 20-something minute mark, but kind of expected when we had this Alchemist Medusa draft.
As you say, as the moments pass, Viking definitely going to be feeling the pressure more and more. Manta done. We're seeing this Medusa slowly progress and stay far ahead of anyone else in the game. Chad's going to have to hit something big here once he gets the Blink and Shard done. And the Blink Dagger nearly is there for the axe. So it's just going to be a test for Viking here. Are they going to hit this timing where they can bring a fight to Sumail before Sumail's prepared for it mid? Catch on to Aramis. Sumail joining forces here with the rest of the fingers out from Saxa, and that's Aramis down. It's definitely proving to have a bit of a tough time to just find the space to achieve much at all right now. Saxa on the support DK, and now the dive here from Tops. The coil onto Kezu and boom, No-Tail. Trying to step up, no hook shot, of course, still on caught up for 30 seconds, and looks like No-Tail's going to get baited in a little bit there by Thompson String Coil. Ends up stepping under the tier 1 tower, and Viking easily dispatch of him.
Poor No-Tail. He gets baited by Thompson a lot.
He does.
I just gotta say it. Like that, we saw it last game happen like 3 times where he's like, Thompson, I got your back, and then he just dies. Continue to get those stacks going. They force all of Viking toward the mid lane with that push. Even though they lose No-Tail, they get the map, all focused there. And Sumail will continue to get that farm.
The jungle has
Seth works on some more stacks, and he is going to go for pipe after having this force Seth done, so he's still getting quite a lot of growth.
Yeah, he's not necessarily going to cool under spread away after the ice blast connects to the middle of the team fight. So that team fight's kicking off right now over to the mid. Going to jump in onto Celery. Over towards Aramis as well. Aramis trying to get away here. The right clicks from Samels along with the snake. It's enough. 3 quick kills here for OG. And now looking for more. Saxa into the hex shots. Trying to come over the counter play. Gets the call off onto Saxa. Samels charging him with the stone gaze. Boom having to put the BKB to get out to the side. Thompson jumping in. He's actually going to jump into his death. Boom's able to with the right click. Take him out. Shad's still alive. Forcing back Saxa with the battle hunger. Saxa trying to hide in the trees. Shad, can he quite find him? Force off to the side. Saxa will break himself away, but Shad's able to get in with the battle hunger again. Runs down Saxa.
They're respawning.
He might not be done yet. Maybe looking for the opportunity to jump for more. He's going to have the blink up in a few seconds. He's not going to chase up to the high ground. So Mel and Seth will make it away. Shad turning up for sort of the first bit of action that he's been able to get involved in. And we'll be able to have a solid kickback there against OG.
They got out with their cores, right? Yeah, Boom got away as well as that actually ended up being pretty damn good for Viking. Keep the tower alive, they keep the cores alive too. Yeah, that ends up working out nicely. And Kezu gets the last touch. I think actually Boom got the last touch onto Thompson too. So
did Thompson. I mean, he really wanted to get Boom. Boom was so low.
So
Thompson
aggressive.
Jumping in for that. You know, he very much was playing for the play. I mean, he knew he was dead. He was going to die going in that aggressive, but of course was hoping to try and bring down Boom with him. Wasn't to be the case yet. Boom able to just break his way around the tree line. Can't quite find the last hit. Boom, he can.
And this is all pre-shard, right? That's the important thing that I look at least for Shad, is
that's true.
He's about to have it now in the next 2 seconds. He's about to have his damage is going to skyrocket in the next few fights. And we also do see Kezu. He's got the pipe done, so that'll help a lot versus this Puck's damage. But on the other side too, we do see Sap, so has the pipe too.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Things said and done with the lead that OG had net worth-wise, and most of that being just the net worth that Seb's been able to farm up with that axe, of course, to Samael. Shad's game so far, there's not really been any hiccups. His progression has the axe. I think it's gone pretty much as planned here for in this game too.
And I think we will, excitingly, get to actually see that matchup play in, right? The Axe versus Medusa, when they do both get this space to farm up, how the Axe is going to be able to deal with it. It is a Medusa who's jacked up, of course, from a free Aghanims, but either way. And this time we don't have Shad with any type of buff himself, right? We did have the Alacrity last game, where he was getting that thrown on to for the crazy spin potential with the counter helix, so doesn't have anything this time around. As OG, fine Celery.
Well, they found the AA. For the AA here, and in fact, no let's try and set up for more Boom. Really push back, the BKB's out. They'll turn, now they'll look at the jump for Shad. They'll get him in control onto No-Tail. Laguna's down, No-Tail will fall. And they weren't quite able to chain stun Boom there. Saxa was around, I guess was just unable to get the Hex or the stun off in time after the cold pushback.
Yeah, I actually didn't get this click on him in time if it was on cooldown or something from like the move, but yeah, get it in time. And at least it's a BKB, so it's, you know, one more instance of tick down for just a 5-position clockwork. That's what No-Tail will tell you.
At least I suppose, Mr. Mayor. Butterfly, pretty much done.
He's still huge.
And talismans there. I mean, it is going to really come down to how much of an effect they have against the Medusa in the fights. Obviously, that evasion's going to be something here. Shad does get the jump on it.
He is going to hit really hard too. He's not going for the Scotty though. He's going straight right click mid.
He stepped into the trap here. Saxa and Thompson, they're ready and waiting. Hooks on over one. Boom, Boomsby get used to on cooldown for 10 seconds. They'll get the poison Nova off. Boom. Moving the speed in the back of the Celery. He's going to turn with the onto No-Tail. No-Tail getting right back down by Boom. Thompson turns towards here. Saxa. Heavy damage here from the right clicks of Celery. Celery will die here to the turnaround from Samel. Still have to be so careful how close they get to Samel. I say that though, Aramis, he's going to jump in aggressive with the Dragon Tail onto Samel. Wants to get it onto this Medusa shot. He's looking for the blink capability onto the Puck, but Puck won't be able to find him. Thompson's able to phase in time. Puck won't grab it. Samel popping the Stone Gaze to deter the rest of Viking from pushing the fight any further. As OG will back off. Saxa does expend the buyback for this thing.
Yeah. It looks like he thought they were going to go on him, but they were actually completely out of mana, so a bit of a wasted one there from
Radiant's
the
middle
Lion.
tower is under attack.
Crazy fight. Thompson dropping low a couple times there. Kezu getting his ult off is what makes him have to stop kind of going for these aggressive moves. He drops like super. If he gets hit by the AA blast, who's dead on Thompson? He just missed him. very close, but definitely seeing Sumail just be the absolute beast this game.
Radiant's
Butterfly
bottom
done.
tower
He's got
is
the
under
talent now
attack.
too, so he's hit 20. That free Ags. And he's just that much tankier now. Up top.
Top lane, Aramis. Doesn't look like he has many routes of escape. Trapped in the cogs.
His team's
And
coming.
the acid spray. They do have a blast coming in. I mean, Concoction that is totally taking their time to bring down Aramis. And with the backup of Boom, they're actually not going to be able to do so. Aramis, this DK support, tanky enough to walk away from the two of them. Don't even really get that close at all to taking him out. Thompson jumps in. All back to the side, does have a Dream Call available, he's going to use it to hold back Shad as OG, they're backing off Sumail, he's not quite close enough to get involved in this fight, he's starting to make his way over, but already No Tail's been taken out. Seb will try and turn and throw a Concoction in, but Shad's able to blink straight on top of the Alchemist, then bought Seb getting gunned down by Shad, who puts the BKB, Thompson having to jump down into the trees, he's having to hide. This is not a fight that OG want to take any sort of part in anymore now, with two heroes already being taken down.
Aramis is just a bit too tanky. The double fluffy hats.
Yeah.
You know, his max dragon blood. They couldn't bring him down before the team got there.
Certainly shown his worth,
Money
even
to
with
burn,
the
money.
sort of slowdown in farm he did have at the beginning of the game. And at this point, he's now on par with that of Saxo, so covering
Ooh.
rather nicely with the way he's been able to survive in these engagements. And
He's gone for his own greed. He's gone the fireball, Owen. He doesn't go for any force staff, no funny business to buff up his teammates or anything. Nope, he goes for fireball.
I mean, I like it. I like it. It's going to be great for sort of the scaling, you know, allowing him to farm, push out
He can
waves
farm.
and such. And he's also playing against some of these
Dire
heroes. Well,
are
the big
scanning.
one, right? This Duso, it's going to be fairly static in the team fight. Good control, Dragon Tail, the stuns, the Lina, and the AA. A lot of damage will be done over the duration of this fireball laying on the ground.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know what else he would have bought for his own greedy build to make himself continue growing. So yeah, this is going to be great for always for this split push constantly too. Because now, of course, you don't have to be inside of your DK farm to use it. So look at bottom, he clears out the wave very quickly. So yeah, that's cool. Sure. And we do see the switch up this time. Shad, he doesn't go for the threshold. He goes for the HP regen. Guess he's feeling that these longer drawn out fights this time will be a
Access,
bit
thank
better
you.
for them since they do have the Veno. And it does look like we do have another axe about to be done. So Seb, that next one will go on to the puck. So Thompson, jump up toward the top of that net worth very quickly. And those BKBs, the Lina as well as the axe, that'll make it quite a bit more troublesome for them when the clockwork gets on top of them.
Yeah, you
puck
like
to
to switch
follow.
up from Sumail as well, going for the swift blink rather than the earlier queued up Smutty.
I guess it's just so that he can like get in front of the axe at all times, so he can always get the stone gaze off. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's gonna die. I feel like the Scotty's just the safer route. This is a lot more risky.
And maybe feeling as well that he can sort of
Radiant
outplay
are
some of the
scanning.
jumps from Viking. Yeah, that blink off dodge that the attempted maybe jump pull from the axe. It's not going to be easy.
It feels so much safer and better
Dire's
just to go for the
bottom
Scotty, to be
tower is
honest, because he has the
under
puck ags too. They can hold him in place, but yeah, I don't know. Because it also lowers the heal reduction. It's good for piercing the BKBs to
Dire's
slow them down, but
structures are fortified.
hey, if Sumail wants to go for a
Dire's
swift blink, sure,
bottom
why not?
tower is under
Well,
attack.
it's definitely the flash
Radiant's
of the
top
two.
tower is
Sure.
under attack.
And so, you know, Sumail, I think he's definitely going to be feeling the
structures
lead
are
that he has.
fortified.
He knows that he is on right now in this game. This is Medusa level 22.
Radiant's top tower
Items that
is
he has
under
is
attack.
incredibly
Radiant's top
stacked.
tower has
So just go
fallen.
full in on his ability to
Dire's bottom
just
tower is
frontline these
under
fights
attack.
as it is, and
he
having
needs
the
to just-
damage with the Sagi to take down the heroes at the beginning.
He does need to just not get avoided. I think that's the biggest thing. That they're just going to try to kite him with the Veno wards and all that, slowing him and resetting away from him. He has bought the ulti orb, so I think he might just be baiting you with the swift blink a little bit there. But
That looks like, yeah, it just had it for the blink pickup and then back for the sky. With that orb pickup.
Dire's bottom tower is under
hey,
attack.
but they're going to start it.
Sure, Viking will want to have something to say about this. Shad's, Shad is available to head over and I blast alone, enough to make OG think twice about how much they want to commit for this. Smoke up from OG.
This has gone for a Vanguard instead of... I thought he was going to go for Halberd this game because he's versus Medusa, but he's going for Crimson Guard rather than Halberd. Bit interesting. Oh, Sumail's in.
With the blink. Ready to start off the action straight around. Kezu there, able to burst him with the finger. Kezu's gone. Quick jump up to the high ground. Catches Kezu off guard.
That should be enough for the Roche. I don't think they can contest without the Veno.
Looks to be Shad not having any interest in charging over and looking for any crazy players. Yeah, for him as the position one. take those risks. We'll just continue to try and keep the waves pushed out with the illusions.
Roshan
That
has
will give
fallen
OG
to
a
the
chance to claim that Roche. Aegis picked up by Thompson.
They don't even give it to Sumail. He's feeling pretty immortal. 2400 HP, 2144 mana, almost 25 as well. He's 23, and there's the Sky he picked up too.
Radiant's
So
middle tower is under
really
attack.
is, and he's got the sliver too, right? So magic resist as well as that status resist on top,
Oh, yeah.
and he's hitting hard. He is.
Oh, he is.
No joke.
See how much OG want
Radiant's
to push
middle
it here
tower
with the
has
benefit.
fallen.
The Aegis on Thompson.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And either way, as we say, the scalability of Sumail's due to the Sienna probably not feeling under too much pressure. They don't have to make any risky moves. And we saw in the last game, sometimes overstepping the mark did hurt OG. Understandably, going to be a bit more
Thompson.
careful this time round. Say that low Thompson indeed. What the want? Backup coming in from OG. And are they able to do anything about this? Thompson, he's off for something, looking for Boom. Boom still has the BKB available. Boom's just going to go for the TP out right underneath the nose of Thompson. Thompson's got nothing to cancel it. But Boom makes it away, not even having to pop the BKB. TP back to base will save the two of them.
Okay, and that's the Aegis.
Maybe not quite lost in the fashion that OG hoped to use it in that.
I don't think Thompson expected to just get grabbed like that. I don't think he thought that both cores were in the area together, but Vikings
Radiant's
still playing
bottom
it
tower has fallen.
very much as a unit still. Like I even see top, like Aramis showed top, they saw like a hero show for a second, the Axe TP's top, so still looking to play off of each other nicely. No tail. Get forced out of that high ground.
Careful how they play. Boom's going to be pretty darn hard with this MKB.
Radiant's bottom
On
tower
himself.
is under attack.
And Sumail actually doesn't go for. Okay, I thought maybe he would because this is like that type of game for him, the spider legs, but he just keeps the sliver. So I guess he's just really looking to be that tanky beast. And I mean the base damage. I think people always forget about this. Like it's a really good item just for if you have gone for this type of just like straight agi damage items too. It's quite relevant on heroes like Medusa.
Oh, for sure. Well, we might see him still shift into the realms.
Might
of
shift.
having a movement speed neutral once he's in a position to sell the trade,
Yeah.
pick the sixth item.
For sure.
See how it goes down when it comes to approaching the high ground here if OG want to push it. Say that they're going to be careful about this. They're not going to feel too much pressure to do anything too crazy.
Yeah, I think also after the first game, right? Like
Yeah,
discipline, I think is something that OG needed to get a little bit better on. So I think this is a much better approach this time. Just farm the map. You've got the late game scaling this time for sure. So
In my armor.
Accelerate.
Ooh, top, they could see top 7. Oh, just a love tap from Boom.
I mean, yeah, Boom does get the Yule setup. He could have the damage to take down Seb.
Silence.
Deals out a lot with this MKB.
That looked like he was like trying to swing inside the tree line there, and then he just accidentally auto-attacked Seb with the quiver because of the attack range. But there was vision of him anyway. There was a ward from OG. As Aramis, he's getting farm. You know, this fireball, it's working. He had the Ags queued up for a second on DK. Now he's switching to Halberd, trying to find solutions for this Medusa.
Axe is not out!
Charging in.
He gets
Underneath
hexed.
this ward though. OG fully aware of the angle that Shad's approaching from. Now Seb is going to look for the jump back in with a concoction. Shad,
Set up.
BKB in another blink up. Shad can still put up the gap. He's going to get it on to Seb. Sumail in with the backup. BKB comes out from Boom with a hook shot. Sal as well as the damage from Sumail. Boom's trying to step back with the right thing from Sumail. It's too much. If Boom gets taken down, Dream Coil controls Shad. Sumail, he'll be able to clean up the two of them.
Those are huge kills. 70 seconds, no Lina. 80 seconds, no Axe. That's very likely a set unless they are just going to have to buy back.
Under attack.
Sumail now 25. Got the split shot modifiers. Now he's going to be able to buy that swift blink. He's huge.
I mean, he can pretty much just jump up to the high ground and take down these tier 3s and barracks.
Radiant structures are
Very little that
fortified.
Viking will be able to do against him, it seems, with how large he is. A clear 10k net worth against anybody else in the game right now. The plan is certainly working out so far here from OG when it comes to just sitting back, Sumail, just allowing him to get to this point where they're ready to break the base. And what have Viking got in sort of in store to be able to take down this Medusa, even with the full lineup alive, which they don't have for 30 seconds. Very hard to see how they bring the Sumail down 100 to 0.
Yep, and he's buffed up. I mean, we've got the pipe, we've got the solar crest constantly being thrown onto him too, and every time his snake returns, especially if it hits either Kenzu, the AA, or the Lina, he's pretty much full mana restored.
There we have it, OG. Ahead up, they take the racks. Nothing at all that can be done by Viking. OG, again, as we said, sticking to the discipline, backing out, heading off. No need to get over aggressive, make mistakes. I think right now, it could even be for Sumail just calling the shots. You know, it's in their best interest to just follow, play around this Medusa, and allow Sumail to close the game up in the safest fashion that he possible.
And now at this point, like, as long as you don't make some drastic mistakes, if you just play together, team, like, you've got this game. You've got it in the bag. You see the spider legs now passed off to Sumail. He's got a crit, I believe, finished up too, so he wants to open up a slot. Or a small crit, not quite the Daedalus yet, but soon. Yeah, just keep playing around him. Viking, they're gonna need... It really does feel like Shad needs to get to like a 3-man call, but I haven't seen OG really playing together like that at all, so...
Much pressure on Viking to make some sort of crazy move, catch OG off guard, try and break them down one by one, outside and away from Sumail's reach as the Medusa.
That's really how it has to be. They just have to, like, you have to catch Thompson somehow at the start of the fight, kill him, and then kill all the rest up, and then somehow bring down Sumail. Or just find Sumail if he's completely alone, nowhere near his team. But that should never happen with it OG's been playing. That's not easy for Viking at all this game.
Big parts of
are scanning.
the Axe AA combo last game really was the potential of the global cataclysm, especially the double cataclysm that we saw coming into the later parts of the game. And whilst, you know, we'll still be able to do some severe damage with the reach and right click that he has with the B build, it's just not going to have the same sort of potency and ease of execution as the Invoker on top of the Axe AA had in last game.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Invoker has like the infinite kind of scale potential. Sure, Lina does if you're snowballing the game, if you're getting like this really good kills and getting yourself these items accrued and you're level 25 at this point. But yeah, it's not going to be the case. And also, it's just like Shad is an Axe versus Alliance, so he can't get as farmed as he was last game. Like, your Axe illusions just die. They get sent and they just get hexed and mana drained and they're gone. Soxa didn't even go for the shard this game until I think maybe he's bringing it out now or in a bit. But either way, it's slowed down the Axe's farm so much.
Take that.
Yeah, this game is very impossible now at this point.
It certainly feels like it. 22k lead somehow. Pretty much in time. Get it out. Daedalus Chan. He's even got the full Hurricane Pike coming out to him. He has certainly finished farming here, I think, as OG feels like we are getting into the territory where OG could dive pretty darn deep, but as long as Sumail keeps his cool, hits the objectives, they're probably going to be able to take away the base of Viking without Viking managing to do much to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting way too much farm. It's like almost AC now finished for the Alchemist. Medusa's getting for everything. The whole map is free for them, and they just farm at that way faster pace. Thompson's not at risk of dying anymore either, because he has Lincolns, so he can split push lanes freely, and Viking's just trapped in their base. I've seen Kenzu in the base now for like 4 minutes. They can't get outside. Meanwhile,
Away from his AC.
now we get the tier 4s, and also Roche is up. So now you're forced into a position here as Viking. You have to farm your neutrals to try to get those tier 4s, but you also have to constantly be scouting the Roche net. As the Hex bottom is done.
Yep, they've got the setup. Shad, is he going to be able to get out in time? OG bringing everybody in here to try and take down this Axe. They've got the coil control. Hook shot in as well from No Tail. Shad taken out. OG ready to swing straight over potentially towards this mid lane, towards maybe the Roshan while Shad's down for 80. I mean, even with the full squad of Viking up, OG probably had the power to take the Roche. One man down, they definitely do. Very hard for Viking to put a stop to this.
Yeah, full AC now. It's done now for Seb, so this is gonna die in no time. A couple of seconds here. Shard. You can give it to Sumail this game? I guess I mean, you could just give it to Seb for the Berserk Potion. It might just be better, but let's see the buyback coming up from Shad. We'll try to contest it.
Regeneration.
To sort of spook OG a little bit, but they step out of the pit. Not wanting to get caught inside it by the jump from either Aramis or Shad. Give a little bit of space here to Viking. So look, it's not heading away from the action. OG, they will happily take a fight around the pit.
They've got Chemical Rage back up now for Seb, so he's ready to act a little bit more of that front line. He was waiting till it. He's ninja geared on the side. Or actually, they're smoke, sorry. He does have a ninja gear at the ready too.
The last time from OG, a jump up to this high ground. Hit block. Start the action. So it's trying to put Samel away to break him out of the combine. It will do so. Gets the stone gaze off Samel. He's ready to turn. Aramis is going to be taken down low. They are stunning Samel up. Dragon Tail as well is certainly reducing the potential for Samel to get the damage done. But still, Celery will fall. Seb is able to run down Shad to the side. The stun follow-up there from Sanctuary. They keep the axe locked down. Shad will get the call off, but Samel's able to get in with the damage. There's 3 dead on Viking. Even with their best efforts there to control Samel, it isn't nearly enough. They cannot control or deal with this Medusa anywhere close to as long as they need to stop Samel in his tracks. So Samel is going to continue to charge on straight down mid. The victory is straight in his sights now.
Yeah, they kind of did like 0 damage to him on. They took out his mana pool, but that's pretty much it. And everybody from OG still alive. Perfect connection as spells. Yeah, it's time to clean this one up. 80 seconds, no X.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant
There we are, the tier 4s being taken out. They've got a fortification, but no Shad.
Radiant's bottom tower
Having to
is
do
under
this without their
attack.
strongest member, as we've seen in the action, isn't even really that strong at all this game. Maybe 18 to 18 the kills, even but 33k lead. Samel just able to rack up an insane amount of farm. The point where he is just this monster of a Medusa.
Radiant's bottom
The
tower
Viking
is
have
under
no
attack.
answer to whatsoever. Into the base, mega creeps are taken here by OG. Traps there on the Kezu. No tell, hook shot over towards Aramis. Samel just ready to pad up the KDS. The game will come to an end. GG is called. OG with a very much safer approach here to this game too. They look pretty unstoppable with this execution. The strategy much cleaner and built around a Samel Medusa, the Viking. Maybe with the Axe Airs that some of the Paladins